When we talk about accountability,
political accountability.
It has to be demanded.
In recent years, the health sector in Malawi has been rocked by several challenges ranging from essential drug shortages, deteriorating service delivery, to mismanagement of funds allocated to the sector, both at district and national level. Discussing accountability in the Malawi health sector. This is the Knowledge Cafe, organized by Options, the international development organization based in the United Kingdom. The cafe brought together government figures, health planners and professionals, representatives from NGOs, the media and the donor community to discuss how accountability in the health sector can be strengthened to ensure that Malawians can have access to quality health care. Options has previously held such cafes in London and Nepal. First things first, Wina Sangala of Options began by defining accountability and how Malawian communities and authorities can use it to drive results.
The whole process should be about tracking, evidence in a participatory and transparent way. That's another angle that underpins Options accountability framework. And the whole tracking process is done together with governments, decision makers, policy holders, together with civil society. So we have the three pillars that have already been alluded to earlier. Political accountability, where we have political actors, policy makers, decision holders take action to deliver results. To support that, resources are needed, where we also have the second pillar, financial accountability, where finances are managed prudently and in line with priorities, that can then support service delivery, which leads to the third pillar that will be talked about, accountability for service delivery. On that note, I would like to hand over to team leader for the Malawi Health Sector Programme Technical Assistance Component, also known as MHSPTA, Cindy Carlson, who will talk through the political accountability.
Officially opening the Knowledge Cafe, Health Minister Dr. Peter Kumpalume stresses the need for accountability in the health sector.
We need to be accountable at the local level to the people that we are serving. It's a process. We have started it. It can only go in the right direction if everybody else is playing their role. So the people, the media, and the employees, or the people that we have asked to deliver these services to the people. So everyone needs to play a role. A positive role in ensuring that everyone else is accountable, not just the people, the employees, but also the people that watching the employees also ought to be accountable with both the information as well as the way they conduct themselves. What we want is when patients go to a hospital, when they visit hospital is free at that point of care, so that nobody is turned away because they don't have money. That is what we want, and that will continue to happen. We've got to find better ways of ensuring that our paying wards, so all the central hospitals have got paying wards. We've got to make sure that those paying wards are functional, they're efficient, and they're value for money.
But scholar and chairperson of the Media Council of Malawi, Professor Wiseman Tijere Chirwa, says accountability cannot be realized without asking for it. He emphasized that the citizenry must demand accountability. He also observes the need to put in place structures that will ensure officers who are not accountable are dealt with.
Accountability does not fall from heaven like rain. It has to be demanded. Somebody must demand it. It's not something that comes naturally. And if it has got to be demanded, you need an active citizenry. And an active citizenry has to be mobilized. And therefore, there we are facing some real challenges. Who is mobilizing who against who in this country? And are officials ready to face a mobilized citizenry? would a district commissioner or a district health officer be in a position to wake up one day and face a mobilized citizenry right at his or her office? Is that something that we are prepared to accept? If we accept accountability. So there is that challenge which all of us have actually to face up to. That it's not something, it's not neutral. It's a loaded thing, both politically and socially. And we have to face those challenges. So we have to deal with that issue that is going to come with risks and consequences. And possibility of acrimony as well. And those issues have to be dealt with. How prepared as a nation are we to face those challenges?
In its endeavor to equip communities on how to ensure accountability, Options through A4A Mama Ye campaign introduced a health budget transparency scorecard. The initiative has been piloted in some northern region districts, and it has proved to be a critical tool to achieving accountability at local level. Rumpi is one of the pilot districts, and through the scorecard, it was revealed the district performed poorly on almost all indicators. But Councillor Mnyenyembe, who is a councillor in Rumpi, says with skills they have acquired from Mama Ye, there is optimism things will improve for the better.
It's true that the Rumpi district health sector has shown that it has got challenges, like challenges in accountability, and in transparency, how they do with their finances as far as fuel, as far as allowances are concerned. So we have discovered through the scorecard process, which this organization, the options, they have to train us as councillors, as political leaders. So after we are trained, we set up a team to go with the scorecards. And when we went in the health sector is where we discovered that, oh no, I think we are lacking transparency and accountability in the system. So we are to improve on that one. So we have been empowered to say we have to work with them as a sector, so that we should be going there whenever we want to go and see what is happening. And we have incorporated that the health sector should be using the health service committee, which is established at the council level. If they are doing it without recognizing this health sector, then things will not move. So that's what we are doing, so that they should recognize the health service committee. Yeah, so that is what we are doing.
Considering that lack of accountability in the health sector affects mostly people living in rural areas, traditional leaders were not left out during the cafe. Inkosi Gomani V of Mcheu, a champion of safe motherhood, was among the many local leaders at the cafe. He shares his conviction on what an accountable health service delivery system means in as far as serving people, especially women and children, is concerned.
Now, accountability is very important, especially in the health sector. You know that the health sector deals with people, not just people in general, but then the life and death of people. And as you know, as a traditional leader, our goals are the people. So we know that if our country, if our nation, if our health sector is accountable with finances, politically, and with the service provision, our people will have better health care and will live healthier, stronger lives. So we know that accountability, I know that accountability in the health sector is very important, because now it will help our people feel safer when they go to the hospital, knowing that the taxpayers' money is being used right and that they will receive good services at the end of the day. For instance, of people in the rural areas, they should know that if they go to the hospitals and they're not cared for well, they have an office to where they can give their inquiries and problems that they're facing. And they should also know what accounts for not proper service. So information sharing would be one important thing for us to be accountable, so that the people, the citizens, can be able to ask for better services, because now they know what better services are, what good services are. And indeed, political will need to be there as well. our leaders have to put in mind that without the people, they cannot be leaders. So they should be patriotic and love their people.
The scorecard has, among other things, established that regular, timely evidence is at the heart of accountability, and that it is strengthened if policymakers' capacity is built to perform their functions. At the end of the cafe, Joe Elms, Options Chief Executive Officer, was impressed it had achieved its main objectives. He hopes policymakers would then make use of the knowledge and strategies proposed to address long-standing challenges rocking the health sector in Malawi.
Well, this event, the Knowledge Cafe that we've just held, was on the theme of accountability. And the reason we held it is because we consider it to be a very important principle which needs to be applied in all of our work, whether you're working in health or indeed in other sectors. For those of us working in the health sector, how we are accountable, whether you're a service provider or a citizen accessing health services, is a really important question. And by looking at systems which can generate evidence, data, and that data can be presented in front of decision makers, this is one of the ways in which we can really look at what is working and what isn't working. And by doing that, the decision makers can act in ways which are well informed and based on evidence. When that happens, services can improve. I think this was the general underlying principle of today's discussions. And it was interesting to me, listening to the many contributions that came, what a strong recognition there was that there needs to be improvements in the way health services are delivered here in Malawi, and that accountability is a principle which is going to help us improve the delivery of health services.
His sentiments were echoed by A4A Mamaye Malawi Country Director Matthias Chatuluga, who stresses on the need for decisive action on the part of policymakers.
Well, first and foremost, I think I'm quite impressed with the outcome of the Knowledge Cafe and the turnout of the people that we invited. And I think at the same time, I have a feel, and from also hearing from some people, I have a feel that it was quite a success. We have shared the information, and that was the main purpose, sharing and discussing the issues, and particularly enhancing aspects of accountability, as you had seen, both political, financial, as well as safety accountability. And I believe that the information that we have shared is going to help the people, both from the district level as well as at national level, to start thinking about accountability and making sure that systems are in place to strengthen accountability in order to achieve the improved outcomes in health, particularly for us, the maternal and newborn health. Because if there is no accountability, it is more likely that most of the services might suffer, because it deals with issues of resource management, resource allocations, and then the utilization of the resources to improve the health outcomes in Malawi.
Cindy Carson and Matthew Mviri head two other options programs, the Malawi Health Sector Program and the Results-Based Financing for Maternal and Newborn Health, respectively. The two share their impressions on the cafe and performance of their programs in the Malawi setup.
My impression has been good. Actually, all my expectations have been met, in the sense that we wanted to show our stakeholders come together and share all our skills, knowledge, and experiences we have from the different areas. So what I'm getting from the conference, it is very clear that we still have healthcare challenges in Malawi. I think the consensus is that the issues are there. The consensus is that we need to do things differently, because when we're doing things, the system is not working well. So as a person from the Results-Based Financing for Maternal and Newborn Health, I'm understanding and getting that we need to go back and think, how do we do things differently to improve the healthcare system? What I've also got was that evidence is at the heart of accountability in Malawi. If we want to improve the healthcare system, if we want to see that things improve in Malawi, we need data, we need information, and we need evidence. If we want to convince policymakers to add more money, if we want to convince donors to add more money into the Malawi healthcare system, we need to show them data, we need to show them evidence. We need to show them what is working well. So I'm optimistic that after this workshop, everybody is going to go back home and think of how to improve the healthcare system in Malawi. Otherwise, what we are doing right now is not working. As options, we talk about accountability and our options framework for accountability. So the first accountability is accountability, it's political accountability. So we are failing at political accountability. Our leaders, our government officials, our district officials are not being accountable. And as the citizens, we're not holding them accountable. That's why we're failing first. The second set is our second pillar, which is financial accountability. The donors are giving us money, but we are not accounting for this money. We are receiving a large chunk of money into the healthcare system. And every time you go out, people from the Ministry of Health are telling you, add us more money. But the question is, how have you used the little money you've earned? We need to improve on our efficiency, we need to improve on our transparency, we need to improve on our systems. So we're failing on the second pillar of financial accountability. The last where we are failing is our social or services, accountability for services. We failed there so badly, because I'll tell you right now, our service providers at the district and health facility level are not being accountable. They are not accounting to anybody. You go to a health facility and the midwife is not showing up on time. You go to a health facility and drugs are missing. You go to a health facility and there are no staff. Staff are working just very few hours. So we are failing in that area. But as options, results-based financing for maternal and newborn health, we know that it's not always good to use a stick. You can also use a carrot. So under results-based financing, we believe that we can give a carrot and incentivize health workers so they can be more motivated and more accountable. So what we do under RPF, every quarter, upon verification, these health workers are given rewards to motivate their performance at work. And we've had studies that have shown that our performance-based incentives are actually helping to motivate health workers to perform better and improve the quality of services in Malawi.
We're also working quite a lot in financial accountability and democratic accountability. So in financial accountability through the Local Government Finance Committee, we're working on training district councils, the administrative staff, on financial management, improving financial management systems, so that when the auditors come, as we were hearing before today, when the auditors come, they actually find the reports, and you don't have this confusion about, oh, we don't have this document, we don't have that document. They can actually say, oh, here are the documents, the reports line up, and everybody's happy that the money's been well spent. One of the areas that we do want to work on is supporting the health center advisory committees, so that we right down community level, that communities can have a say and demand really their entitlement to quality health care from the health workers in their area. So we're working to train advisory committees so they can help their communities to make the demands on improving quality. So staff being in the health facility, drugs being in the health facility, if they see things going wrong, that they can report on problems that they see and somebody takes action. And what we would really like to see is joining that up to district councils, so the councillors themselves also really engaging in those processes and supporting their communities to make those demands as well.
I've always told people in the ministry that I exist, the Ministry of Health exists, and some of you health professionals exist, because at the end of everything that we do, there is a patient. Without them, we have no jobs. Remember that. Now the question is, how then do you deliver the services to the people that in this moment in time, God has entrusted you, the government has entrusted you to deliver on his behalf to these people? Let me put it differently. If you are on the receiving end of those services, we have loved those services delivered differently. If the answer is yes, when you leave this place, think about how you can deliver those services more efficiently. How you can become more accountable in the way you use money that has been entrusted to you by the government. And how you're going to change the way you make your decisions. There's politics everywhere, even in the way we deliver services to the people. So I'll ask the question again. if you are on the receiving end of those decisions, of those services, we have done it differently. We have learned somebody done it. And if your answer is yes, go home and do likewise.